Thanks for staying tuned. I'm Stanford Howard with this edition of the HGP Sportscast. We begin with cycling. Guyana's most talented cyclists took to the inner circuit of the national park for the 25th annual Ricks and Sari Schoolboys and Invitational 35-lap feature race on Saturday last. Colwyn Abrams has more.
Over 50 cyclists assembled at the national park for the Ricks and Sari 25 meet. Chris Day made his debut as a senior rider at the event, coming out as the top man of the day. Day finished in a time of 1 hour, 12 minutes, 51.31 seconds and was followed by Crawford, Orville Hines, Junior Niles, Camuel Moses and Andrea Green. Early on in the race, Dino Brega and Britton John were leaders of the pack. But this came to an end after a puncture put a dent in his hopes of a victory as the season opener winner. Kennard Lovell took home the veterans over 50 title ahead of Gary Benjamin, while Junior Niles started 2018 as a top under 50 veteran cyclist. In the 12 to 14 years boys and girls 3-lap event, Jonathan Ramsey-Chute took top honors, while Brian Dino Brega and Steve Bimson settled for second and third places. In the juvenile category, Britton John finished the 10-lap race with a winning time of 23 minutes 25.41 seconds, ahead of second place Adeli Hodge and third place Ralph Sunarine. Shane Brown copped the top mountain biker spot ahead of Ozia Macaulay to close the day off. The top 3 finishers in every category were presented with trophies, while the winners walked away with hampers, courtesy of the sponsor, Ricks and Sari. For the HGP Sports, Colwyn Abrams.
Thank you, Colwyn. We move over to football. The Milo Under-18 kicked off over the weekend with Buxton Youth Developer upsetting the business school, and defending champs Chase Academy crushed Carmel Secondary on opening day. Here's more. The first day of the Milo Under-18 school football competition saw Buxton upsetting the business school with a 4-2 win. It was business school who had Buxton on the defense, when Jermaine Padmore in the 7th and 15th minute gave the school the lead. Before the end of halftime, Buxton Shamar Kingston netted 1 for his team in the 27th minute, ending the first half 2-1. Buxton in the second half went on to score 3 more goals by Shamar Singh in the 52nd minute and Shamar Scott in the 66th minute to give Buxton the lead. But it was Shamar Kingston with a second goal of the day in the 70th minute that gave Buxton the victory. The defending champions Chase Academic started with the victory they wanted, as this year's Milo School Under-18 football tournament got underway at the Ministry of Education ground. They maintained their ruthless power over Carmel Secondary 12-0 in one of 3 matches in the first round. St. Rose's were also victors on day 1, as Akeem Ford and Shane France scored in the 21st and 45th minute to Don Cummins Lodge 2-0. Reporting for HGP Sportscast, I'm Stanford Howard. We continue with football. The GFF opens the regional office of the Rupununi Football Association. GFF President recommits GFF support to the region. Colwyn Abrams has more.
While congratulating the RFA on a monumental step, Ford emphasized the importance of increased administrative capacity to realize the development of football in the region and affirmed the GFF's continued support. Ford said the GFF is committed to the development of football in Guyana and stands ready to provide necessary support. He said, "I am pleased, honored, and privileged to be a part of a movement that will, in my opinion, in the not-too-distant future, produce players from this region that can go all the way to professional football in Europe and further." For his part, acting RFA President Berkeley highlighted some of the RFA's achievements since its election on October 30, 2015. Chief among them, the expansion of membership and the number of national players emerging from the region. The opening ceremony of the office, which will serve as a hub for football administration in the region, was followed by the official ribbon cutting and a tour of the building. The occasion was commemorated with 2 novelty matches played at the Wadapna Community Center ground. The first match featured an under-15 bout between the Guyana Rush Saints FC and Tabatinga FC of Brazil. Tabatinga FC won 2-0. The Tabatinga FC has the highest concentration of ATF players in the region. The second match was a Masters game between the Ghana Presidents 11 and Brazil's veterans Bonfim 11. Bonfim 11 won 1-0.
Thank you, Colwyn. And finally, in cricket, Sunil Narayan and Andre Russell topped the list for the Caribbean boys, as big hitter Chris Gayle was bought for petty cash in this year's Indian Premier League. Find out more in this report. The IPL held a 2018 two-day auction over the weekend in Bangalore, during which a total of 578 players feature in the player pool for 8 franchises to bid. It was no surprise when Chris Gayle was not bought on the first day of the auction. The West Indies big hitter, who was once the highest paid cricketer from the region, is now one of the lowest paid batsmen, coming at £220,200 He will be playing for the Kings 11 Punjab. Dwayne Bravo was bought by the Chennai Super Kings for £705,700. Mumbai Indians paid £595,000 for Kieron Pollard. Evan Lewis made his way to the top of the charts when he was bought by Mumbai Indians for £418,500. Windies skipper Carlos Brathwaite, who will be playing for Sunrisers Hyderabad for £220,200. Reporting for HGP Sportscast, I'm Stanford Howard. And that's all we have for this edition of the HGP Sportscast. Goodbye.